Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There seems to be some fog. A fog is moving in. Is that what?
Back.
Is this a Twitter fog or is this a Jody fog? What's happening, Mark?
Mark's in the fog.
He can't hear
He's
it.
unaware.
You know,
Oh.
Drew,
He's in a fog.
I'm aware, but you know what? I take exception to all those who think that Jody Arias is manufacturing a fog defense. It does affect me occasionally, and you forget key things like abhorrently stabbing someone and important details every now and then, Dr. Phil.
So, I just hope that's the worst of your memory gaffes, that you don't actually have something where you've hurt somebody. So maybe the fog will clear. We can go on with our show. Let me turn my attention to Evie, since she is as crystal clear as she can be. Going back to that tape we just saw in the intro, Jody says she would not hurt Travis because he introduced her to the gospel. To me, it actually made me sort of I almost nauseated when she said that, because it just again another example of she'll go to any length to defend herself and to have her way.
So, you know what's interesting? Obviously, I've watched these videos, and throughout much of these interviews, she talks about the gospel and religion and prayer. So I have to tell you, when people walk into an interview room and they start bringing up religion and the Bible and God and the gospel, those are huge, huge signs of deception. I've had people walk in holding a Bible. As soon as you see that, it's like, don't even hook them up to the polygraph. They're deceptive. So those are actually things done by people who are liars. Because think of it this way, they're trying to convince you of the truth. The truth is very simple. Did you kill this person? No. Did you do this? No. But when somebody uses God or divinity, they're doing what? They're trying to overcompensate. And who better person to vouch for you than God?
Anahita, would you ever advise a defendant to come in with those sorts of extreme defenses?
I would never advise a defendant to talk as much as she did, Dr. Drew. You know how much this angered me when we covered the original trial. She has been the worst client a criminal defense attorney could have, because what she's doing there, she's sabotaging her own case. Had she kept her mouth shut, it would have done her a lot better than her just blabbing on and on through these tapes,
Sam.
Dr. Drew.
Evie, I know that you have interrogated a lot of people in your line of work. So when you watch those tapes, what do you see there? Do you see somebody that's really strong in her conviction and is really manipulative, more to the point of some of the other people that you have interrogated in the past?
And was the interrogative technique appropriate? Did they did everything they could?
All right, so with regard to what Sam's saying, she's not that bad. I've interviewed people who are a lot more hostile, who are pretty bad. She's not bad. She bleeds. We call it bleeding. Throughout the whole interview, she bleeds. And what Anahita dislikes, I love as an interviewer, because she's telling you all these reasons of what she did, how she did it, why she wouldn't do it, but she never really comes out. She's not very strong in her answers. So she's very weak, very easily manipulated. You know why he didn't get a confession? And I hate to do this. I never liked a Monday morning quarterback. That room, the way that room was set up, terrible, terrible, terrible. That table should not be in that room. He should not be sitting. You watch this video,
I disagree.
and he's sitting like across from the table, all the way on the other side. That is not the way to do an interview. You want nothing between you and the person you're interviewing. You want an open connection, and he can't even see the body language.
Mark.
Furniture didn't prevent him from getting a confession. She did. She's a world-class liar.
Negative. You do not know that, Mark. And that is one of the techniques when you're an interviewer. One of the things they teach you on how to do interviews. You want to see that person's body language. When you have that table between you and the other person,
the potted
you cannot
plant over
see
and all
what
of a
they're
sudden she
doing.
pours
That
her
is
heart
very
out? Come on.
important.
All right, joining us on the phone, I want to bring that juror number 17 in, Tara Kelly. She was, in fact, juror 17 in the Jody Arias criminal trial, the first trial. And Tara, last time you were here, you talked about having had nightmares, having been pulled through all the same images that people are going through another time here. Are you doing better?
I was doing better for a while, probably up until a few months ago, and then obviously with the trial restarting and everybody talking about her on social media and TV and seeing her face, and it just brings everything back, and unfortunately brings back the horrible, evidence photos that we saw of what she did to him, which is a lot of what my nightmares are about.
And Tara, you were an alternate juror and didn't actually get to vote life or death for Jody. How would you have voted?
I would have voted for death. I think that based on the evidence, it was so strong that based on the evidence, and then with her on the stand, as much as she lied and changed stories, I thought that it was very apparent that that's what she deserves.
Anahita, I wonder if you have a question for Tara. And Mark, and Mark does. Mark after Anahita.
Okay. I'm just wondering, why do you think that there were 4 holdouts? Why do you think 4 of those jurors could not give her the death penalty?
Well, I think, unfortunately, it lies where the jury instructions are as well. It clearly stated in the jury instructions that it's your own personal decision. So whether or not you found mitigating factors, the fact that it says basically you get to decide whether you want to or not, I think was a way out for a couple of the jurors
Mark.
to give her life.
Tara, it's nice to hear from you. It's been a while.
Hi, Mark.
Here's the question. I know you would have voted for death. Hey, how are you, Don? But there are many who say that they wouldn't, and the question becomes, Tara, you got your finger on the pulse of the jurors out there. Can you get all 12 to agree? I don't think that you can. What's your thought?
I think that's really hard, Mark. And I think that, I believe in Florida, it's the majority, I want to say, if I recall.
Different.
Which is, I think that's how it should
Right.
be. I think the fact that one person can make it non-void for the death penalty is kind of unfair.